Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's going to fight Canelo.
Oh, man.
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, like, I believe all the shit he be talking.
Crawford? Yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit.
They tried to say that, like, Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like, you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch.
Canelo Alvarez is going all out in preparation for his showdown with Terence Crawford. He's pushing himself through tough sparring sessions, polishing his defense, and perfecting the devastating power that has knocked out countless opponents. The energy around him is electric. Canelo is treating this fight as more than just another match. This is about legacy, and he's training like a champion determined to leave no doubt.
That fight would be gigantic.
I'm trying to make all-time history.
Right. That's the one that gets you going. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah. I hear him now. You too little. Canelo gonna break you. Yeah. I love the challenges. Let me prove him wrong once again.
Building on Canelo's intense preparation for Crawford, Joe Rogan pointed out just how tough and unusual Crawford's training has been. He questioned whether Crawford truly has what it takes to overcome Canelo, acknowledging that victory is possible, but only with a flawless tactical game plan. His guest, Jim Lampley, drew a parallel to boxing history, recalling how Ray Leonard defeated Marvin Hagler using movement, speed, and strategy, suggesting that Crawford might pull off a similar feat against Canelo.
Yes.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win.
So
but he's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
Okay, what kind of a fight? I'm going to get to that. I asked the great Larry Merchant,
What did he say?
94 years old, living on Ocean Boulevard in Santa Monica, looking out at the ocean, reflecting on all the amazing things he did. And I asked Larry, I said, do you think Terence Crawford has a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez? And Larry said, Jim, did Ray Leonard get an official decision victory over Marvelous Marvin Hagler? And I said, yes, he did. He said, well, if Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And I said, why do you say that? He said, same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Over.
Hogan highlighted what makes Canelo especially challenging for his opponents. Rather than focusing solely on the head or body, Canelo targets the arms, wearing down a fighter's defense over time. Joe noted that this approach is rare in modern boxing and is a key reason why Canelo is so difficult to face in the ring.
Yeah. Canelo has such unique skills, and one of the weird things that he does that very few people since Rocky Marciano does is he punches your arms.
Yes.
He brutalizes your arms.
He's another brilliant guy. He has the greatest punch resistance in the sport. You know, we talked about it earlier. One knockout in the whole career.
Knockdown.
And it wasn't a knockdown. And it wasn't really a knockdown in my personal view. So
Jim also highlighted another factor behind Canelo's resilience. He's rarely been knocked down, not just because of a strong chin, but thanks to his incredible lower body strength. Powerful legs help him stay balanced and absorb punches that would floor most fighters. Jim then shared a surprising insight from his time living near Canelo in Del Mar, California. He would see Canelo's trainer, Cho, stocking up on lean proteins like tuna and chicken to fuel his training. But the most striking detail was Canelo's morning routine: horseback riding. Each morning, he would spend around 2.5 hours at an equestrian center practicing hunter-jumper exercises which demand balance, coordination, and leg power. In the afternoons, he'd complete 3.5 hours of intense boxing training. Jim emphasized that combining horseback riding for leg strength with boxing for upper body conditioning was an incredibly smart approach.
touch the canvas. He's never been on the canvas, and we call it chin. And I think that we kind of missed the point by calling it chin, because I used to be Canelo's neighbor in Del Mar, California. Used to run into Chepo, his senior trainer, at the grocery store. I'd look into the cart and say, "Oh, he's eating tuna." He said, "Yes, and he's eating chicken." Da da da, and so I also used to go down the hill from my house off of Via della Valle in Del Mar and watch him train at the equestrian center, where he would go to the equestrian center in the morning and do 2.5 hours of hunter-jumper riding before going to his gym in the afternoon.
Jim clarified that Canelo's horseback riding wasn't merely a hobby, it was a deliberate part of his training regimen. Joe pointed out that this explains why Canelo is so difficult to knock down. It's not just his chin, it's his foundation. Years of riding have built exceptional leg and core strength, keeping him stable, balanced, and firmly rooted in the ring.
To do 3.5 hours of boxing training.
Hunter jumper riding? What is that?
Hunter jumper is where you go over jumps and you...
With a horse?
Yeah, on the horse, yeah.
Why the fuck would you do that when you're training for a fight? What if the horse falls?
Because he was riding horses since he was a little kid. He was skilled enough to do it. You controlled the height of the jumps. You say set the jumps at 36 inches or 40 inches. You know what the horse can do. It's all about staying on the horse. And I asked him, how can you do that? And he said, everything I do in boxing is upper body, and everything I do on the horse is lower body. And on that basis, I am the one who theorizes that the reason you can't knock him down is not because of his chin, it's because of his legs.
His base.
You can't.
Not everyone shares that view. Amir Khan offered a rare perspective, drawing from his own experience facing both fighters firsthand. While he didn't reveal every detail, it was clear he was comparing their styles, factoring in size, ring presence, and how each handles pressure.
Canelo, you've been in the ring with both of them fighters.
I think I might be the only guys that's.
I can't think of anyone else that has, obviously, because there's a big weight disparity between the two. So
I think I'm the only guy that's been in with both fighters. So I'm thinking of maybe going there. I've been asked to go there and obviously give my input on the fight before they go in the ring, and obviously I know both fighters. Canelo's a friend now after our fight we had, and also Crawford had shared training camp with him as well. It's a good fight. I'm not going to say too much.
Khan also hinted at Crawford's skill in controlling distance, making subtle adjustments without burning energy. At the same time, he suggested that this bout could push Crawford in ways we haven't seen before. His comments added a layer of intrigue, leaving fans curious to see how Crawford will respond when Canelo truly turns up the pressure.
Look, Crawford's going to probably do the same thing that he knows best, which is box, be smart, slow movements, small steps. Only small steps he's taking. So look, and it's always worked for him. Every fight he's been in, we thought that the fight with Spence was going to be hard, and he made it look so easy. Now, we've never really seen him in a hard fight where we've seen him in trouble, so maybe this could be the fight that puts him in that trouble to see what he's going to be like when he's under pressure. You know what I mean? We've never seen either fighter under pressure like a lot.
Khan also highlighted a side of Crawford that often goes unnoticed, his physical strength. He recalled times when Crawford's size and power at higher weights caught people off guard. It became clear that Crawford isn't just technically skilled. He's tougher and more resilient than many give him credit for. Khan hinted that Canelo's size edge isn't the only factor that will shape this fight.
Canelo has a size advantage, but then again, I've always said Crawford puts on the weight well. If you look at size of him, you see his picture when he was like 185. He looked huge, bro. He looked jacked up and he looked strong at the weight as well. I remember when I used to spar with him, and I think, wow, he's heavy and he's heavy-handed as well.
People don't give as well,
people don't give him the credit for his power. Crawford bangs hard, man. And also has that muscle strength. I saw him in the gym when I was training with them, wrestling heavyweights and taking them down. Wrestling. So I don't know if you know this, but Crawford is, I think he was like one of the top national wrestlers.
He was a good, I think he wrestled when he was younger, and he was.
Then the big question surfaced: who comes in fresher? Khan suggested it might be Crawford, noting that Canelo has endured more grueling fights and bigger weight changes over the years. It wasn't framed as a prediction, just an observation, leaving fans to ponder whether Canelo still carries that same intensity or if Crawford's timing could give him the edge. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next fight analysis.